So, did you figure out what you're dressing up as tomorrow?
He wants to dress up as a real guy who murdered 9 people last year.
Oh, you're not doing that?
It's just a costume. You think that guy's still out there?
What's up with you and this clown all of a sudden? You're like obsessed.
They never found his body. What if he decides to come back here?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Wait a minute, aren't you that guy from the costume shop?
Sir, what are you doing?
It wasn't me.
He was covered in blood on his shirt and his hands when he got here.
I'm telling you, it was him, Allie. Right down to the little black dot on the tip of his nose.
You're really weird, you know that?
I believe him.
About what? Something really bad's gonna happen tonight.
No, I know when Jonathan's lying, okay? I could hear it in his voice. Something's wrong.
Look, we're gonna have fun. Stress-free environment.
Yep.
Speaking of surprises, kids, we have a very special guest with us today, all the way from Miles County. Please welcome Art the Clown.
Welcome back to On a Slab Horror Show, the show we bring you each and every Friday. Gregory, why every Friday? Friday night is horror night, exactly. We are back in the house, and of course, we're back to talk about a really fucking awesome film today. But first, let me introduce my other man. Greg, how's tricks to you, man?
What's happening?
All good, all good. And I finally did what you said. I'm wearing my gorgeous Friday night is horror night.
I mean, I had to drive all the way out to your house to drop that to you.
I know.
And you didn't even wear it in the 2 other episodes since you've had it.
Well, look, it's here now, isn't it? And it looks awesome. So, you never know. You might see an On the Slab Horror Show T-shirt T-shirt line down the line somewhere. But for now,
Absolutely.
These are just exclusives for the boys. Anyway, we're going to be talking about a film that took the horror world by storm. I suppose the bigger horror world. Some. Yeah, we're talking about Terrifier 2, and we've been dying to do this for a long time, Yeah. And like you say, we always do our reviews a little while after the fact, so if people can see it, and because we do, it's not a case that we like talking about spoilers, but we like being able to talk about a film. So
we pick parts, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have a chat about Terrifier 2 today, and hopefully...
Got to put it out there. There will be spoilers in this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's usually me that does all the spoilers, but Greg is my man for that.
I'll keep the warnings to it.
So, I don't know if anyone was watching last week's show. We had the ghost hunter Lynette, was it?
Gina.
Gina Lynette Schaefer. That's her name.
Yeah.
That was a really cool
I'm not even going to attempt it, so.
Yeah, but a really
Sorry,
cool, really cool episode. Really lovely woman, and very. I mean, I was, as you know, I'm not overly fond of ghost hunters and that kind of stuff, but I found her fascinating. You know,
that was
so
a great episode.
Yeah, really enjoyable. So shout out again to Gina. But let's talk about Art the Clown.
I'll tell you what. I know I said 2 weeks ago when we done the Halloween episode. Obviously, yourself wasn't there that week. I said at the end of that, and Ian had put it in a couple of weeks beforehand, that we lost Michael to what is or should, and hopefully will be the end.
Hopefully, yeah.
like, I don't mind if there's a reboot down the line, but don't do it in the next 5 to 10 years. Jesus Christ, give it a while. We said we lost obviously one of the biggest horror icons, but we've gained a new one, or what seems to be a new one. Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton have done a fucking phenomenal job here.
Amazing. Amazing.
Shout out to the lads, and I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Damien Leone does the makeup for Art as well.
He does, yeah, he does.
Absolutely immense, and it's so basic, but perfect.
But that's, do you know something? I mean, you know I like clowns and all that kind of shit. That's the best type of clown, not one with big monstrous teeth and over the top. Something that's simple, that can be almost human, you know? And they're the kind of the clowns that fuck people up. Not this, like, you know, killer clowns from outer space. That's funny. It's fun.
That's gas.
Yeah, but like this lad, he doesn't talk. I mean, let's just kind of for anyone, and I'm assuming anyone who's watching this has seen Art in his previous films, but let's just quickly talk about what he's like in the previous ones. The one before this is Terrifier 1. He's a nasty motherfucker. He doesn't say a word.
It's bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's bad.
Then he's in All Hallows Eve, and he's actually
that's a different Art though, really.
Yeah. I mean,
different actor as well, and the movie itself was a bit strange.
Yeah,
and slow.
So I mean, people are getting, you know, everybody thought Pennywise was the main clown in horror.
I still think it is really. That's the name. That's the benchmark.
Yeah. But I mean, when you think about it, we still don't know an awful lot about what Art is, why he's doing what he's doing. But at the same time, I think that I think he has the potential to be just as powerful as Pennywise, you know?
I can fully tell you what he is. He's a bad motherfucker.
Well, of course we all know that. But
as it says, Pennywise is the benchmark of clowns, really.
Yeah.
Obviously there's Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is a great laugh, and it's a good movie for what it is.
Yeah.
We had the remake of Pennywise, which I didn't really enjoy Pennywise in that.
I know he did.
He became like, for me, having read the book, he's killing people more for the sake of it in this one, and they were doing more in it that didn't need to be in it. But movies weren't bad.
Yeah.
Obviously we had Ross Noble as Stitches.
Or do you know another one as well? That film Clown.
Eli Roth Clown.
Oh, I love that film, and it's a cool take on the whole thing of where he becomes like the outfit becomes his skin. I think that's deadly.
And then obviously we had Twisty the Clown.
And of course, Captain Spaulding.
Captain Spaulding is that. You know what? That should be the benchmark.
Yes.
Captain Spaulding's a king.
Exactly.
But then again, a lot of people you wouldn't think of that as a clown, really.
I know.
Yeah. I know it, but anyway. But, Art has certainly placed himself up on the top mantle here.
Absolutely. Talk about creepy. But at the same time, what I love about this film, with Terrifier 1, there was virtually no storyline. Yeah.
Good movie though.
It was good. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're into gore and you're into, imagery and that kind of shit, yeah, it's perfect. If you're into storyline,
that scene.
Oh.
Everyone, when you talk about Terrifier 1, you just have to say that scene.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? This might seem like bad parenting or whatever, but Kerry watched Terrifier 2 with me, and she watched Terrifier 1, but she preferred Terrifier 1 because she said, that scene. That's what she said. She's like, no, I prefer Terrifier 1. Why? Because of that scene. So everyone knows.
For those of you that haven't seen Terrifier 1, when you watch it, you'll know.
Yeah, that scene.
And to be fair, Terrifier 2 has a that scene as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, you know what, I think that's even more visceral, I think, in a certain way, in certain aspects.
Yeah, because she's still alive.
Yeah, man, I was watching it going, oh, fuck that, like,
Some of it, as it says on a previous episode, some of it, like where he splits her hand, okay, he takes you kind of out of it, but Jesus Christ. But what there is to say here is a 250 grand crowdfunding budget.
Yeah.
Damien Leone got this to the cinema.
Amazing.
Like, he got it to the cinema, and the last I think I seen, it was at 10 million.
Yeah, I think it nearly ended up at 11, which is even better. Like,
For a 250 grand indie horror to make that, yeah, phenomenal.
to me, as you know, as a horror fan, and like yourself, to me that's like the biggest victory of a horror film ever.
But
You
what's
know?
going to make that a bigger victory is it ran alongside Halloween.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
I mean, obviously Halloween ends.
And wasn't it only meant to be in the cinema for like a really, really
A
short
day.
limit? Yeah, and it got like what, a month or 2 months out of it or something like that.
It was the 6 weeks, yeah. It had the Jeepers Creepers 3 effect, really, didn't it? It was getting into certain cinemas,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it for a day, and all of a sudden then it just took off. Do you know what I mean? Like, they had cameos from Felicia Rose, obviously from Sleepaway Camp and stuff.
yeah,
They had Chris Jericho. Do you know
which
what I
was
mean?
awesome.
These-
Yeah,
These people aren't small in terms of name value,
no.
and they're getting into these kind of movies to help it along. Absolutely.
What I love about it though, Greg, is the natural, the organic build, like, you know, building of it, how big it's getting, you know, and
Yeah.
it's just totally organic because they didn't have a big advertising budget, you know, and it's, you know, and in this day and age where you know, horror films are at this level and they're afraid to go up to this level with psychoness.
This
fucking-
went
ah.
past that level.
Yeah, but I love that, you know what I mean, and it's almost like a love letter to horror, if you get me, because it's like the old school horror, because it's
Yeah.
shown stuff. There's proper practical effects, which we love on this fucking show. You know,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And like even the camera work, it's some of it's grainy, it's dark.
mm,
And I'd always say, in terms of horror, right, Ghost Ship had one of the best opening scenes in any horror movie.
amazing.
The opening scene in this is right up there.
I
That
think
poor
so.
fucking doctor
Jesus,
or morgue worker, whatever he is.
Morgue worker, yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's
I have-
bad.
I have to say, of course, and I'm just looking at the cast here. We had Griffin Santa Pietro from Cobra Kai in this,
Yeah.
which was,
He's only a small part in it, but
yeah,
he's in
but,
it.
like when you saw him, you're like, what the fuck? Then you had Elliot Fulham as Jonathan. He's a really cool YouTuber who had interviewed, I think he was called Little Punk or something like that. I can't remember his name, but he had interviewed Slayer and all the kind of
Yeah,
bands
you had said that to me though. I hadn't a clue who he was. I just thought he was brilliant in the
in the film. Yeah, so I was another cool little thing for me to see. But I have to say, a very special, shout out to Lauren Lavera, who played Sienna, the main character.
The best final girl I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
I can't think of anybody in the last long time that's come close to that.
The only one I can say is your woman from Prey. I know it's a different type of it.
Yeah, you could say that actually. Yeah, and then I did think back as far as 2012 for Cabin in the Woods with the main guy from that, but I only rewatched it a little while ago and I realised that she actually annoys the shit out of me, and she was glad that she dies at the end of it.
Yeah.
But Lauren Lavera done a fucking stand-up job in this.
Yeah.
Like David Howard Thornton stole the show,
Mm.
but she's right up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's believable as a heroine, isn't she?
Yeah.
She really is.
Even the scene where they're in the underground disco and the friend had slipped their drugs.
Yeah.
He looked like, because I was watching it and I was like, she's off her biggie.
And she was.
And it turned out she was, yeah. She was off her fucking nut, but I thought she was fucking brilliant. Brilliant.
But even there's such an array of kills that Art will do.
It has. Yeah. I think, do you know what? Watching it starts off obviously with the morgue worker getting killed, and then him going to to the laundrette to wash his clothes.
That was brilliant.
And he's sitting there bollock naked.
That
And when he sees the little kid,
was
she was great as well.
a great little addition, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, she was. I mean, it was part of the original story.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
obviously she goes missing, but like she was brilliant,
Ah,
and his facial expressions when he sees her is a
Yeah.
pure joy.
yeah. I love, I have to say, Howard Thornton's facial reactions in this film. Like to be able to hold a film like that for 2.5 hours. That film was on.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like it.
I was shocked when I put it on and I seen the timer on it. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I know. But it flies in.
Yeah. I like before I knew it, it was over. I was like, "Oh, obviously I need to watch that again then."
Oh
But,
yeah.
it's just like you see some indie films 2 hours, 2.5 hours drags a little bit, or it can lose its way. This doesn't at all.
No, and I mean even. Like there's the little, not necessarily the soundtrack or whatever, but like like the sound effects that Leone uses in the background, like the kind of weird soundscapes.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just work. I like when there's not necessarily a soundtrack, but maybe soundscapes or that kind of thing. I just think it can
Absolutely.
I can add more atmosphere to a fucking film.
And then obviously we had the Halloween 3 effect with the song "The Clown Cafe."
Oh, that was brilliant. That was the.
I hadn't a notion what was going on when that happened. I was like, "What is going on here?"
Oh, but there you go. Yeah, I mean, you get with this film, you get away with that weirdness. You know what I mean?
And then he just starts killing everybody, and you're like, "The fuck."
Hey, it's Art the Clown. There's no rhyme or reason to this bastard. But one thing I do want to. I just
lighting people on fire and everything.
I know. What a dirty bastard! I want to ask you: do you think, as we said, we're deep into spoilers here, but do you think that Art the Clown was the kid's dad?
No.
Do you remember the way like the dad had all the pictures of Art the Clown and the drawings? And all that kind of stuff?
As in Lauren Lavera's dad?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think he's seen him. I think they could run that back as a story that it had happened to him when he was younger.
Yeah.
And he bottled it up or something. Something like that. I think that'd be a good way to go with the next one. But entirely, if they decide to finish it now, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. But I have a feeling, I think he's going to do another one.
I'd imagine so. Like the success of that one.
Yeah.
But you also run the horror risk. You're playing horror roulette then.
Yeah.
Because a film studio, having seen that make that much money off so little, will come along and say, well, there's a budget.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Damien Leone's job that he done with that was great with little to no budget.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're handed a budget, it can be harder.
Oh, exactly.
Easier, but harder.
More pressure.
Yeah. And then you're talking about you need to deliver.
Well,
don't get me wrong, I don't think he wouldn't deliver, but I'd be very happy to say if it ends the way it ended.
Yeah, it was a great finish.
We'll call it a day, and then and that'll be that. Like art should have never took off, really.
No.
Because All Hallows Eve, it was okay, but it was so slow. And I know I picked it as one of my Halloween recommendations because of the anthology in it.
Yeah.
But art wouldn't be the one that I would have picked out of that.
No, I agree with
you. Then again, you look at Trick or Treat, which is another great anthology movie, and you got Sam from it, who was fucking phenomenal and took off. But out of them, I wouldn't have said he'd be the one to take off either. I would have said maybe the Werewolves and Anna Paquin. Do you know what I mean? It's strange what picks off.
Well, that's it. But that's what I like about lesser known films.
Yeah.
Like people make whatever of that their own. They make it theirs. So like there's not just one kind of character you have to like.
Yeah. But you're seeing now indie films hitting off, right? Obviously, one of the bigger ones for me would be Dog Soldiers. It was
Yeah.
made as an indie movie, and has gained such high praise from everybody.
Yeah, and in fairness to you, Greg, I don't normally admit any kind of defeat or whatever, but my ass has been spanked time and time again from people who I thought would have been on my side with it regarding werewolf films and all. So, you know,
It's a
brilliant.
better film all round.
Oh,
for
it is
me.
brilliant, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But there you have an indie movie
Mm.
making it, right? Here you have an indie movie making it, and it's got like theoretically you'd say this will stand the test of time. I've seen people with Art the Clown tattoos already.
Already, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now there's one that I actually really like, and I might get it done. Is the one with him with the flower sunglasses?
That's brilliant.
You know, where they're in the party shop. You just feel sorry for that poor fucker in the party shop, wouldn't you? You're just like, oh no, you're about to get all sorts of fucked up.
He was a bit of a dick, in fairness, you know.
He was a bit of a dick, but it was funny though. You just knew he was closing shop. Man wanted to go home, and that was it. Like it was game over.
I wonder now. I wonder is Art going to become a pop culture icon now?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
what I'm waiting for is the NECA figure, whenever that's going to be. That's what I'm wanting. That's
Mecha figure.
Oh.
Jeez. It will come.
Yeah, especially
I think-
now, I'd say, after the success of it.
I think it will come. I just don't know
When? Yeah.
It might take a while
Maybe
because of what it is.
Well,
And then again, you'll have to try and get licenses for it and stuff.
mm,
It's gonna be
You know,
tough.
I know, but look, I mean, if you never know if they do a number 3, which as we said we think you will. You never know what might come out of that. Lunch boxes and fucking pop vinyls and all that kind of stuff.
He could well become the next Freddy Krueger, really.
Well, do you know something? I think that's a good comparison because there's well, with Art, I think there's unintentional comedy, you know,
Yeah.
and
Where they butchered Freddy towards the end into
Yeah.
just doing everything.
yeah,
Like you don't become a horror icon that way and then end up in fucking like the likes of pop vinyl stuff. And I know what they're doing. Everything is in it now,
mm,
but in Hot Topic on T-shirts and stuff.
yeah,
But like he was doing cereal ads and everything.
which
You know what I mean?
he shouldn't have been when you think of it.
No, like he shouldn't have been, and especially considering the way they tried to make the character.
Yeah,
But like you can see this blowing up that way.
and he shouldn't be either because
Absolutely.
and I like that. If anyone who has seen any of the Art films knows
He's a filthy bastard.
Oh my goodness, you know.
He's a proper filthy bastard.
So yeah, I think it's safe to say that if we, on the slab, it has given a lot of thumbs up to this film, and I think I can speak for Dynamo as well when I say that the three of us loved this film.
Oh yeah. Just before we go on and we'll give it the rating and whatnot, we got to talk about that scene, the bedroom scene.
Go on.
Jesus Christ, it's fucking brilliant.
Vicious.
Like he scalps her.
Oh, that was
He cuts her
nasty.
back to bits. Decides to go down and get salt, and you see him rubbing it under the skin
Yeah.
and everything. You're like,
But
Jesus.
what's horrible about that is how excited he is when he comes back out with it and all the salt
Yeah.
and the fuck up. Is it bleach? Salt and bleach, and he's
Yeah,
rubbing it all
bleach, yeah.
in, and that's like, I mean,
it's-
it was bad enough with what he did, but then he fucking goes more.
and he skins her, and she's still alive. And then the man
Oh.
walks in, and you're like, and she's asking for help. And you're like, I don't think there's any help from where you're going.
Oh, put her out of her misery, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of looks and gore and that kind of stuff, it's brilliant, that particular scene. It's absolutely brilliant. Excuse me, but yeah, and even the way, like, the way they have her looking when she's absolutely mutilated. Fair play to Leone, it looks brilliant.
It's phenomenal. But like, it was just brilliant. And then obviously going back to the clown house at the end.
Yeah, that was cool. That was
Overall just top drawer.
absolutely.
Obviously we can't speak for the Dynamo, but I'd imagine he'd have a 4 or a 5.
I think
I know
so.
he said he loved it. And I mean, if he has anything less, I'm pretty sure Rachel will castrate him because I'm pretty sure she loved it.
She did love it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Go on, give us your rating.
I am going to give it a 4.9. And the only reason I'm not giving it a full 5 is even though I know it flew in, but it was still 2.5 hours, you know? So, like, the storyline was fine. Everything else around the storyline, the actors weren't annoying, really, which is a change.
The mother was actually.
yeah.
Fulham was.
She was.
But that was the design of the character, which makes it great.
I didn't mind him so much, but the only thing that the mother was a bit of a dick. Jesus, she was. Yeah.
She got what she got.
She got what she fucking deserved. I put it that way.
Shot in the face.
Yeah. So like that's the only thing. Like it's you're talking about very, very, very minuscule gripes for this film. For me, it's one of my favorite now. It's I think it's probably my favorite horror film out this year. I don't know. We've yet to do our end of year list, so I mean there are a couple of good ones out there.
Well, I can guarantee you this is going to be in the top 4 of everybody's list.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can't say it won't be, but I can guarantee it should be.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What are you gonna? How many slabs are you giving it?
4.5.
Why are you dropping it? Yeah.
The length of time. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was great. Then there was the scene where you have the clown cafe.
Yeah.
Which was great. When he goes to set her on fire, all of a sudden the knife sets on fire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. They don't do anything with it then, and you're like, what is that? So it's just small minor things. And the fact that the teachers are all dicks to Elliot Fulham when he has the dead bird.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's a clown and there's 2 people that nobody's seen on the camera killing a rabbit.
Oh, the raccoon thing, isn't it?
Or the raccoon, or the ferret, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, check the cameras, you'll see it. But no one goes with that. They're just like, yeah, you're suspended.
Yeah. Yeah, little things like that. Yeah, fair enough. But I don't think you're meant to nitpick. No, I'm not saying you're nitpicking, but like.
No, but that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't really like throwing 5s around too often.
No.
I know I've given a couple out, but yeah, it was very fucking good. It was definitely better than 1.
Oh yeah, and 1 isn't bad. Like
1 isn't bad, no.
No.
Like if I was to rate 1, I'd probably give it 3.5, 4.
I'd give it a 4, yeah.
Yeah, for an indie movie, especially for that scene alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. There's some parts that I can nitpick at and whatnot, but like.
I have to be honest with you. In terms of nitpicking, I think we're going to give it a lot of leeway because it's an indie film that's now hit the big time, which wasn't. I don't think it was its intention. No,
I think it would. I think they had their following sort of All Hallows Eve, the likes of yourself, myself from Terrifier 1. They had that kind of cult following.
Yeah.
And word spread, and now it's big time.
Well, that's what I like to see, a big clown-faced screen of popularity. The more the merrier, that's what I say. And
I absolutely, I went in thinking indie movie, it's gonna kind of drag, it'll get there, but no, Jesus, no. This went 0 to 500 in the space of a second.
Just like that. So I think
I think it's probably a 4.5, 4.75 if you rate between the 2 of us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I'm
sure the Dynamo will be somewhere in there as well.
I think we'd be. This almost reminds me of when we reviewed Scream. We were all in agreement from the off,
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
No, we weren't. Dynamo didn't really like the new Scream.
Did he not? I don't know.
No, it was Tombstone did.
Yeah, me,
Dynamo
you, and
didn't
Tombstone,
really.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so.
But even then, like that's the whole thing about films and opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
As it says, if you've seen on my Facebook today, the greatest and most honest truth is there are two types of people in this world.
Oh yeah.
People who know Die Hard is a Christmas movie and people who are wrong. It's the same with films. You can have your opinion, but I'll tell you you're wrong.
Oh, you snob! You snob!
Absolutely.
I think on that note, snobby note, we will wrap up tonight's show. And can I say your go home line today?
Go for it.
Yes.
You won't deliver it as well as I do, but
I may not. But before we go on, don't forget we also do another show, Retro Time and Recast, which is fucking an amazing show. I'm the perennial loser on that show, but I don't care because I love it. I enjoy it. It's great fun.
you're still only getting used to it. It's grand.
Yeah. What we do is, and in case anyone doesn't know, we take a film and recast it with today's actors and see if we can make a really kick-ass, modern version of the film. It's a great concept,
but it's done as a game show.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Great crack, and sometimes there's a few little arguments here and there, but
like last week.
Oh, that was gas. But check that out on YouTube. It's Retro Time and Recast, and obviously you're here with us. Try and like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We'd like to get a few more subscribers. It'd be great if you can share it out, tell your friends, all that kind of stuff. But
pass it to the horror world.
Exactly. But for now, in the words of the great George A. Romero, and also the great G-Man himself, stay scared. Woo!